Good morning everyone, my name is Chris from Two-Headed Wolf Gaming and welcome to Crusader Kings free from Paradox Interactive. We had to, we really had to play this game. Now it just came out, I think it was a day ago, but I worked till late at night, so I couldn't wait to wake up this morning and start playing it and really also record it and put it out there for you guys if you wanna see it, if you wanna buy it. I did a little bit of the tutorial just so I can get familiar to how the new screen looks, if it's closer to Crusader Kings 2 or if it's totally different. I didn't really keep up with the development of the game, I just watched some YouTube videos here and there where it seemed interesting. But now we're here, and you know what? I decided to go for East Anglia. Like, why not go for what we're already playing with in our Total War series, right? The Thrones of Britannia. I did a playtest, a quick one, just to see what would be our current situation, and it was a pretty tough choice to go for it. Because we start at war, and it's going to be pretty difficult to get to survive, first of all, and then expand. But you know what? I thought, hey, let's do this, let's make it, hopefully let's make it as fun as possible for us, and if we get kicked out of the game, if we get destroyed, then hey, it's lesson learned, we're gonna try to do better in the future. We start with King Edmund, Æthelstan's son of East Anglia. Edmund of East Anglia. He's lustful, giving us +2 to intrigue, some fertility, some seduction, skin power, and we get plus opinion towards lustful characters and -10 opinion to chaste characters. We're also sinful to Catholics. It's a sin to Catholics. Now, I'm gonna go inside the game and I'm gonna try to explain as much as possible as we play along. If you are looking for something of a tutorial, like an in-depth tutorial, this is not going to be the playthrough where we do that. I do recommend, like I saw on the 31st, I think it was the 31st of August, a favorite streamer of mine, Quill18, like put out this early access look of the game, like actual gameplay, and I think he also put it on YouTube now. But I really loved, he spent about an hour or two just going through each and every menu and explaining things, and I really love that. I'm sure there are other people out there who got a bit the access a little bit earlier, who know a bit more about the game than I do, and I do recommend to look it up if you want to get in depth. But we're just gonna play along, and I'm gonna try to explain a few things here and there as we meet them actually. So this character is lustful, humble, and calm. Let's just go inside the game. Let's click play. We're not gonna put on Iron Man. We're not gonna go for achievements as we do not want to. Well, basically, I don't want to lose the recording, maybe lose an autosave or something like that. The difficulty will stay as normal for the moment, and we are inside the game. Now, if you take a look at our house, at our dynasty, like you play a family in Crusader Kings 2 and 3, I think in the first one as well. Basically, you play as a family more than as a country. And your goal is to survive as a family, is to have heirs, to expand your family, to put them into positions of power, and in that way raise your strength throughout the country. Like, you could go full power, like to conquer the entire world, or you can stay as a count or a king in your area and just roleplay there. If we take a look at our dynasty tree, I was looking at these guys and thinking, hey, where is Guthrum? Right? Where is our character from Total War Thrones of Britannia? Apparently, Æthelstan of East Anglia is Guthrum. Æthelstan was the name that was given to him when he was forced to Christianize by Alfred of the king of Wessex, of like West CX, that is in France of Britannia. Apparently it's the kingdom of Wessex, like this one right here, right? And this is Mercia, what we call Merse. So I'm just starting to get a bit more into the history of the area, like trying to learn as we go along. Maybe after a few playthroughs of France of Britannia, we will actually know a lot more than we do right now. And so we are a descendant of Guthrum. It's, I think the game starts about 20 years later, almost something like that, than our first game. And now we are here. And I believe that Beorhtric over here is the actual heir of Æthelstan, and I think the bloodline might have continued with him, actually. Well, we'll see more as we go along, I guess, and we'll learn more. So now we're the petty king of Edmund, and we are the dynasty heir. Why do dynasties matter? Well, in this game, in Crusader Kings 3, your family tree, depending on your, your family, after you play along, you get experience, and then you can give them these kind of family traits, or how would you call them? Let's say, how do they call them? All members of East Anglia dynasty gain the benefits of these dynasty legacies. You, as a dynasty head, can spend renown to unlock legacy. So we spend renown in order to upgrade some of these traits. We can have, if we invest in warfare, we will be a house of warriors. Our characters, our family will be stronger in fighting, and the knights that we have leading our armies will be tougher. If we go into law, popular opinion will be +5. Popular opinion being our towns and the people. So if you put guile, we gain dread to +20%. We'll see more about that. So basically you gain all these benefits that you can continue with throughout the history of your family, right? Which I find pretty interesting. Like, this is one way where your family seems more important than just you playing along. We start with our petty king, Edmund, over here. As I said, he's lustful. Like, all of our characters have 5 base traits. Diplomacy, which influences how well you speak to your vassals and your mayors and everyone around you. You have martial. Martial is for fighting, is for your king to be a good fighter, a good strategist, like having bigger armies. Stewardship is your ability to govern the area. It's how much tax you gain, how well you build up your towns, and so on and so forth. Intrigue is used for schemes, like assassination, like taking over certain territories. And learning is our ability to learn, develop, and basically it's one that works for religion, but most of all for innovation, for technologies. It's very important to have a pretty high learning in order to have characters become, smarter. Prowess is just the way you fight, and these are influenced by your traits. Lustful, humble, and calm, this is who we are, and you see that we gain some points in diplomacy and intrigue for being calm. We lose stress a lot easier. Our dread decay is more difficult. Scheme, discovery, chance, opinion of calm character, so we do get a few points here and there. Brilliant strategies, we're a brilliant strategist getting +8 to martial. Monthly martial lifestyle experience +40, and we are an open terrain expert. plains, farmland, and steppe, we gain a +4 advantage. So we have a few plains here and there around these isles, so I think it's going to come in handy. Now these traits, of course, differ from character to character. You can develop a few things, you can change, I guess, as we grow and get older. But one of the cool things of Crusader Kings 3 versus Crusader Kings 2 is that when you become when you're doing things that are against your character traits, you gain stress. Now stress, if your stress goes high enough, then you'll start getting some bad events. You might get a breakdown from all that stress. So it's very important to manage and roleplay your character, right? If you are someone who is humble, if you are someone who's calm, you won't be able to be fully aggressive, just go ahead and, I don't know, attack everybody in anger, right? Because like you can make that choice. However, you are going to obtain or increase your stress levels. So you have to manage this as well as a mechanic. It's not as random as it was in Crusader Kings 2. At this moment, here at the top right, we have the money that we gain every turn. Prestige. At this point, we are known as established. Our piety, we're dutiful. Our family is obscure. Our family name is obscure. Nobody knows us. And the domain is the amount of holdings that we can hold at the moment, right? As a king, as this king of East Anglia. Like if we want to hold more territories, like we can change some laws, or we can create vassals, and they will govern under us. Well, I don't know how in-depth I should go. I know this is a slow start for an episode, but it's like any other game in this kind of territory. Let's just go ahead, or let me tell you what's the situation at the moment for us. Like we are at war right now. There is a invasion from the sons of Lothbrok of East Anglia. So we are defending this territory against this guy. So this Jarl Ivar, the Boneless of the Isles, like we had him, or I believe he's still alive at this point in our Thrones of Britannia gameplay. He might be, or at least this area is unconquered from what I know. Like he wants to attack, he wants to take over this area. We are also in this war with the Kingdom of Mercia and the Kingdom of Wessex. And we are also apparently, or are we fighting? No. We are not fighting, like Mercia and Wessex are also fighting against the Earldom of Jorvik. Yeah, so this is our war. They want this territory and we are allied with them. If we take a look at their armies, you can see that he can bring up about 6,000 troops. We can bring out about 1,000. And these two areas, like 399, I think they can bring a few more. Maybe by mercenary or something. Definitely need help early on. Because if we're gonna look weak, if we don't defend these territories, they will take us over and they'll start raiding our lands, and some other faction might just declare war to bring us in. We will have raiders. There's a mechanic for all these Viking kingdoms that they can come to your land and just hit the raid button and start taking over and sacking their territories, sucking your territories. And their armies are at least equal to ours, which makes it pretty difficult to fight early on. And what I want to do to start with is choose a lifestyle. We already have a few points into martial focus. Like, depending on what you choose here, you gain certain events depending on what you want to. It's like this is your goal right now. So what do you want to focus on through your life? And we have points into martial, like focus on control of your realm, honorable conduct, and the strategies that will win your wars. Because of your martial education, you gain 40 more experience in this lifetime. So it's because we have this brilliant strategy. This was an education that we received as a young boy. And so what we're gonna do here, I am going to continue with this particular lifestyle, and here we have a lifestyle focus and a tree that we can go over and get certain perks. Like we have at the moment overseer, we get a natural dread of plus 15, dread and control growth 0.3 per month. Dread is a trait of your character, like having people, when you are dreadful, people who are shy or are more timid, they fear you. So they won't rise up against you because they have this fear that you will, go against them. We gain plus 5 advantage in controlled territory defender. This will be really good as we start off the game here in these wars. Increase control in county, plus 20%. Control is used to on areas like on these elements. Control is used to gain a bit more, I think, taxes. Yeah, so levies and taxes will be reduced if we don't have good control over the territories. So that's what we're using it for. This is good as well. Hard rule dread, we gain extra 20% dread. Siege progress against revolts, and faction military power threshold for vassals is plus 20. So we could continue through this, or we could start a new tree. Like we will see when we get the point what direction we're gonna go. When we get at the end of the game or the end of the tree, we get one of these traits. Like if we reach here, it's overseer plus 2 to martial, plus 2 to stewardship, and control growth factor of plus 50% per month. So you want to go towards the end, you want to gain some of these points or these traits because they will come in handy. What should we focus on? We could go for strategy, which gives us plus 3 martial. We could go for authority, which gives us plus 1 to martial, plus 20% gain to dread, and plus 0.3 points in control. Or we could go for chivalry, which makes us a bit more attractive, which gives us prowess skill. Prowess skill is used for duels or when we fight in battles, and gain an advantage on the battle map. Another plus 5 advantage would come in handy at this point. Martial is good as well. We have a pretty high martial skill, and I do want to go even further. Let's make our character really strong. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna focus on strategy. If we take a look, we are not married. And in this game, marriages means alliances. That's one way of how you can build such alliances. And what I was thinking is actually to go to Greenwood over here. He has a daughter of Prince Rodri, right? She's called Nesferch Rodri. Yeah, I won't be able to to do justice to the old English language. So she's patient, she's wrathful, she's lustful as a trait, and she's curious. She's at the moment like very young, she's 13. What we can do in this game is we can arrange a marriage, right? We arrange a marriage, it's a betrothal, but we won't actually be married until I think it's 18? 16 or 18? I'm not sure how the old ways work. So what we do, we get 300 prestige because we are marrying into a bigger faction. They will get 100 prestige because we are quite noble as well. If you marry below you a courtier or someone who doesn't have a noble line, at least for these Catholic regions, you lose prestige, as you might imagine. And what we do here, by doing this, it does represent a little bit of a danger for us that we will have no heirs by the time she comes of age. However, having Gwynedd on our side in this war is going to come in handy. We will have enough enemies as it is. Mercia and Wessex are okay with us at the moment, but we will definitely need to somehow split them up, right? We will need to make sure that their leaders like at this moment, none of them have heirs. But if you want to go, for example, into Intrigue, if you want to murder him, oh, we have actually a pretty good chance of doing so at this time. The bad thing is that if we do so right now, then we will be taken over by these huge earls or jarls. Let's see, what next? We have a few vassals, we don't need to go over them right now. Our military, we have 972 levies and 6 knights. Knights are basically leaders of armies. They are pretty tough and they can be taken down in battles. If we take a look at our council, at this moment we have a 13 learning bishop, which is pretty good. He's at the moment improving religious relations, and when they have positive diplomatic relations towards you, at least the Catholic churches, they do give you some money, and you are able to receive money from the head of the church. So you do want to keep them here and make them happy. He can also fabricate claims, we don't need that at the moment. For our chancellor, it's a level 7 diplomacy, which is not great. So what I am going to make him do is go to domestic affairs. I want him to improve relation with our direct vassals. Beoric over here, is this our brother? No, he's our uncle. He has an 11 stewardship, is average, and we can increase development. We don't need that at the moment. I'm gonna show it later. We're gonna keep him on collecting taxes. Our marshal is organizing levies, bringing us more troops, and our spy master, Reeve Edgar over here, he is just gonna disrupt schemes. What else we should do? We should look in the court. We need a court physician, and the way that we could do that is bring one of these people in. These guys are just guests. I do not want to bring any of them here. Let's look at our court. Who has the highest learning? Learning is what you will need to have a good physician. Like, our bishop is a good learner, but I wonder if we assigned him as a court physician. Facts becomes a court physician, starts endorsing us, okay, and gain 15. Okay, let's put him as a court physician. Apparently it doesn't take him off the council, or at least I'm hoping he does not. And they will just apply when we are hurt. I think that's about it for now. We have only 10 more gold. What I will do is raise our army, as we might get attacked pretty soon, and what we want to do is just be prepared. Just be prepared. We're bringing our guys over here. So now we are betrothed to his daughter, and we formed an alliance. What I can do, if you take a look, like you can take a look here at the top at the issues, and you can see some of the things that you can do if you are worried you don't know exactly what to do. And I do recommend going over the tutorial. If you're buying this game, go over the tutorial. It's pretty easy, it's pretty fun, and it gives you a really good idea of the game. Let's see. So we can call on our ally to war, and we will do so. He's pretty close to our enemy. It's gonna provide us with a bit of an advantage, and they do have like 1500 troops. That's perfect for us. We can declare war on the Jarl over here, a holy war, but we do not have enough piety to do so. And he has superior forces. Like he can levy about. He has 1000 levies and 500 special soldiers. Special soldiers are just these man-at-arms regiments. You can buy them, and they cost a little bit more than your normal levies. If he can bring 6000 troops, we have no chance. Oswald, our brother, can also marry. Now let's see, what could we do? We could go for the Kingdom of Asturias. Like these are the territories here in the south, like Spain. Some potential Welsh marriages right here. Now the reason why you might want to go this way is because you want to create some really good relations, right? You want to also gain potential claims in the future that we could push. For example, if this guy passes away, he has a few children. He has only one child, but if something happens to this child, or they get taken over and thrown into the dungeons and there's some guy with no heirs, we might want to push our claims, because hey, this daughter has certain claims on these cities, and now that there's no heir, it's our right to control this area. So you can push these type of claims. So that's about it. She has pretty high learning. Let's see if we can get an alliance over here. Their troops are not too strong. I think it could come in handy to have better relations in the area. What else? What else should we do? I think that's about it for now. Let's just slowly start, and we will get some decision. I will go around another alliance over here because we've married our brother to this particular territory. Let's see, can we call him to war as well? Yes, we actually can. Maybe we should have married into a higher family. Right now that I think about it. But hey, we've gained all these troops. It's gonna make us a bit more tougher. It's gonna be a bit more tough for the rest of the world to declare war on us. Every little bit counts. We also have here technology. Like this, you gain having high learning. It's gonna give you a certain interest if you are the head of the culture, right? So given that King Ethelred of Wessex, he has the most territories in our Anglo-Saxon culture, and we are tribal because we started really early on. We also research quilted armor, meaning that we can recruit armored footmen, we can recruit onagers, we can build fortifications in our towns, development growth. So we have all these kind of extras because we've managed to research them or develop them within our culture. And he is interested in public works, given that he has 11 learning. We will slowly build up some progress, like 0.4 progress per month. It's an 89% chance that we will actually gain this progress per month. And we will be able to discover public works in about 23 years. Like this will apply to our entire culture. So it's very important to at some point be the head of your culture, because then you can decide what you are interested in. I think that's how it works. You choose a fascination and you grow in that particular sense. Let's see, our allies are joining this war. We're really trying to push for as much as possible. There's a bunch of troops here. As you can see, they are invading our lands. Our allies' troops are coming closer to us. So what we want to do is just defend these territories and apply pressure to them. Like, that's what we're going for. We're not going to worry too much about taking them out in any way, shape or form. We just want to catch their troops off guard as much as possible. Like, the easier we do the... what should I say? We're not really trying to play offensive here, right? What we want to do is play very defensively, is take care of small stacks of army, and well, that's it. Catch them off guard. There we have it. Like, they've caught these troops here. We're gonna reinforce. And we're gonna slowly just take them over. That's what we do here. We're slowly destroying their armies. Battles are fought in different stages. We're in the late battle phase because we've been in this battle. Like, at first, there's the skirmishing phase, I believe. And then there's the battle phase, so if you have a lot of archers, you do some damage at first to the armies, and then you go to soldiers, you go to cavalry. Like, there is... I do not know the full mechanics right now, but we will play with it along the way and see how we do. So this territory is taken over by the Jarldom. We're just gonna sit here, we're just gonna play very defensively. Greetings, my liege. I have been hosting your Chancellor Reeve Æthelstan for some time now. The way he imposes himself on my home, all the while encouraging no less than groveling servitude towards servitude to you, disgusts me. What lords would send such a terrible representative? So, Æthelstan is what? Æthelstan is... oh, it's... Reeve Wolfstan? I'm not sure exactly what he did. But apparently he's unhappy with us. What we can do is try to sway him. This is a scheme. Like, what we're going to try to do here is sway him, like improve our relations with him. Like, that's our goal. Like, we want to be friends. So it's what we're trying to do. Let's see. So their armies are here. They're sending some people by boats. We're just gonna keep putting this pressure on them. See? So they come through our lands and we'll be like, hey, nice to see you. Thank you for being here. We're going to take over your territories, right? In this war, if we enforce our demands, if we reach a high enough score, then they will lose prestige and pay reparations to us. They will pay us gold, they will lose some prestige. We gain 350 prestige, and our allies gain 150 prestige at this point based on their contribution. So that is about it. Like, we won't gain anything out of this war, at least if we go for white peace, and we can do that at the moment. That will be it. Now I wanna stay here and continue the war just for a little bit. I don't know if we can actually put the pressure on taking over these territories. But for now they still have huge armies, as you can see. And since it is our war, we will get since this is our war, we will get they follow us. I'm not sure if we can relieve them, so to speak, of their control. Nice, we've got his army again, will be reinforced pretty soon. They are joining this battle for some reason, and they will lose. So we're slowly building forward. The rise of the Scots. Though they share common origins with the other Anglo-Saxon, the clans living in the northern Britain lowlands have adapted to life in the rugged terrain. Diverging cultural and linguistic from their former countrymen, these Scots have enthusiastically embraced their new cultural identity. So, did they just manage to build... Yeah, they managed to add longships to their part of their cultural group. So that's how we do right now. We're going back into our territories. We're slowly building a lot more work score. We're just waiting for them. We're not putting any more pressure. We're not worrying too much. We're losing some supply, but we are in friendly territory, so that's okay. Empty council position. Edgar has died. He bled to death. I'm guessing Edgar was what? Edgar was our spy master. I'm guessing that he fought in those battles. Maybe that's how he died. Let's see. Who is great at scheming? Ooh, we have a 70. We have a 90 here. We have a 17. Yeah, it's a 17 intrigue, yes, but he's a lunatic. Lunatic can be pretty dangerous. We have a knight over here with a 12 intrigue. And our half-brother has 8. Let's assign our knight over here. 12 intrigue is pretty good. We can train commanders, domestic variant increase. Like for the rest of them, I think we're good right now. And we are already at the 37-minute mark. Man, time flew by. I didn't know I made this episode this long. This game is fun. Let me tell you, it feels like it's difficult to learn, but this game is a lot of fun. So I'll leave this episode as a longer one, of course, but we will come back in the next episode and hopefully keep it at a 30-minute mark from now on. I thank you very much for watching, and I do hope that you join us in the future episode. If you like what I do, if you like what I'm working towards with this channel, please consider leaving a like and subscribing in order to keep track and help me grow. Thank you very much for watching. I wish you all a wonderful day. Bye bye.